Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about a craft that is newer for me, in comparison to like sewing and crochet, where I've been doing since basically I was a teenager. Um, and that is something called junk journaling. Now, you may have heard of it before. If not, junk journaling kind of encompasses a wide variety of different journaling styles, but like it can go far beyond than just journaling. I first learned about junk journals in, I think it was 2019, and it was funny enough, it was a Tumblr post about somebody who made a journal out of literal junk, and that's where the name comes from. The very first journal that I made based on that tutorial is this. Obviously, I didn't make the pen, but it is made out of a mac and cheese box, a Velveeta mac and cheese box, I believe. And I just have everything in here was made with stuff that I already owned, and what could be considered junk. So like I said, it was a mac and cheese box that I covered with paper, so it would cover up the outside, the print on the outside. And then literally it's, so Ribbon had, these are origami star paper, and I just picked some of my favorite colors, and they're not glued down to the front, so I actually slip the ribbon underneath. The ribbon keeps it tight closed, obviously. And then it's just stuff that I had around. This is an envelope from a like letter writing kit from when I was a kid. This was packaging that I got something in, so I put stuff inside. And I don't want to show you too much because there is some personal stuff in here, but you can see there's some cards in here that I've stored, and other things that I've gotten that I just kind of want to keep as a memory. Let's see if I can find a blank page. I don't remember what that's from, but yeah, so I have notebook paper, and I like it, the crinkled texture, so I would crinkle some of them, keep some of it blank. I can go in here, there's grid paper here, and these are, they were from a kit of like note cards and envelopes. I actually have some of it still here. I don't even know whose it belonged to. It might have belonged to my mom. But yeah, it's just these small envelopes and cards that are matching color, but each one has like a different shape. So purple has the zigzag, yellow straight edges, this kind of reddish orange, pinkish color has the curved edges, and then blue has rounded corners. And using what I had, this, and then the letter writing kit, which had the like kind of like parchment-y colored paper, and you can see some of that paper there. I liked crinkled. I also had index cards that I put in, and it's the whole thing is made up of that. I like glued some envelopes down so I could insert stuff into it, and yeah, put the cards that those envelopes came with in. It was very random. One of those origami paper strips, just kind of glued down to be like a band that you can tuck stuff under. And then just some, like, these are colored pencils, and I have a paper clip on the back, two paper clips, one to hold the colored pencils in, and then one just in case. And yeah, that's basically the essence of a junk journal. And you could staple it, you just take them, and basically you can see on the end here, I would collect, I want to say it's like 4 or 5 things, whether it's an index card, lined paper, grid paper, the colorful cards, the like parchment colored paper from that writing kit. I would just have like a little bundle, have it folded, and then I sewed it in. I marked it with pencil. You know, I knew the size of actually the glue is coming up. Oh yeah, it is Velveeta. I did not have all the right tools, so that obviously it's so old, the glue's starting to come up, and that's okay. I don't use it that often. I'll put some things in it sometimes. I get cards from certain people every Christmas, so I continue to put their cards in here. But yeah, you just kind of, you take the stack, you fold it where you want it to be, like book pages, and then you can staple them in, or you can sew them in. That's what I did. And I went with a nice rainbow, and then I put little trinkety things, you know, bottle tab. These 2 pieces are beach glass with wire wrapped around it, a plastic bead, just to kind of make it interesting. And, you know, I was trying new things, and because I had never heard of this before. And yeah, I've got it's a safety pin and I don't even know what that is, a key ring on the end of the ribbon. And you just, you know, you can do that. That's what a junk journal is. You can have random junk sewn together or stapled together into some kind of cover, and you can decorate however you want. You can write in it like a normal journal, or you can just fill it with mementos, or, you know, you literally can do whatever you want. But this was my first junk journal when I first learned about them. And there's kind of like a set of categories for different kinds of junk journals. Yeah, there's different kinds of categories for junk journals. There's the classic junk journal. You can make the journal, and then you, out of whatever you have, and you can fill the journal with whatever you have, and then you can do whatever you want with it. There's a step up from just using whatever you have to basically using kits that you can find online and print out yourself. But let me show you one more that I made out of stuff I had. So this is cardboard on the inside, like from a packaging that I had bent into a book shape. This is some sample fabric that I was able to just take from work because we weren't going to sell it. It's just a piece of scrap. You can even see on this side it's got the, you know, zigzag edge from when they cut it from the bolt. And this one I actually have for sale in my Etsy. And this one I had this I had these two-toned rainbow like cardstock. So like, for example, the red is red on one side and pink on the other, and all of the colors are like that. And then I also had these same thing cardstock that are toned to like granite and sand and stuff like that. And then this, it's like paper bag color, and then 2 tones of blue. And I was just like, yeah, I'll do something fun. I'll do this. It's called Deckled. If you ever seen it on like a book you've purchased, this is called Deckled. Obviously they have machines to do it. I did it by hand, where I just, with like a ruler to guide me, tore at the edge. And I had no plans of ever using this one. That's why it's blank inside, and why I have it for sale in my shop. It's you can use it for journaling, sketching, you know, just like any other journal. You can use it for whatever you want. But so this is another example of using things that you had on hand. The next step up, like I was saying, is buying these kits. I find them on Etsy, and there are dedicated shops of people who basically create these digital packs of like, I don't know how to describe it, what they're doing, because it's something I don't do, but I'll show you some of the journals. So this first one, steampunk. I love a good steampunk. It's probably one of my least favorites that I've made. So I would like to also sell these next 3. I would also like to sell. I'm just not sure if I can put them on Etsy because this is not my art. I did not make this. I did not find this. Literally the only thing on this cover that I did was the word steampunk in a Word document. And I just printed it out on that paper that I just showed you in the last journal. And this is pamphlet style. So it's all together, bound with one set of whatever kind of binding. You could use an elastic band around the whole center and the whole cover. You can staple it. Whereas the other ones, they lean more towards bookbinding methods where it's several, they're called signatures, and then they become a text block. This is all bookbinding terms, and if you get into stuff like this, you will start to kind of learn about bookbinding because they kind of brush up against each other. A lot of people, I find a lot of people who get into junk journaling and start to really make journals start to go into the bookbinding method from, you know, fully making the covers and, you know, decorating and the paper and all that kind of stuff. But when I say you can buy these digital pages, it's literally this. So I guess it's Photoshop. I don't really know where they do it, but they create these images and things like this, where this is like a card that I glued only partially down to be a pocket. It's called Ephemera. Here's another little band, and they, you know, they do these like they design things. This one, it looks like old paper with lines on it, you know, cards. This is in a little envelope that I have just with a paper clip, and then cards that you can pull out, and, you know, you can write on the back, fill out information about an event you went to, or you can just fill it with stuff. This here behind it is, I actually don't remember. It's an extra page that I had printed out. Oh, it's a little small. As I see. So this image on the back was somebody who did, I don't remember what it's called, but they used real plants and some kind of chemical to make these images appear on the paper, and then they scanned it into their computer and sold it as a digital thing that you can print out yourself. But yeah, so this was a page that was too small for the journal. It was too short. And I just put it in there for you to, if somebody wants this, you know, you can just, you know, write whatever you want on there. It's really cool because it helps when you don't really know what you're doing for first time junk journal makers. I only have so much stuff around the house, and I used a lot of the like paper and stuff for that very first one. But it's also fun to just kind of create a journal. I have another pamphlet style. This one's all bee themed, called the Beekeeper, and it has a little bee charm, if you will, hanging off one of the strings from the binding at the center. But yeah, it could be a bookmark or just something. There's pockets and these beautiful pages, and they format it so that it can be folded in half to be a page. My printer doesn't print the image to full size, so I always have a white border. And on the steampunk one, I cut them all off. But I started to hate doing that because it's tedious, so I start inking the edges. Another little bookmark card thing, and it's fun to do, but I make the thing and then I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Some beautiful pages here. The bee. This back image is actually, I think, also a pocket. Yeah, it's also a pocket. this last one is chonky, and I start getting real chonky with my stuff. This is bound with several signatures, and I just covered up the thread here with this washi tape, and it's got so much stuff in it. I even did different color inking, as you can see, light green and dark green. But yeah, this is just things that you can do, ways you can do junk journals. And if you look up junk journaling on YouTube here, you'll find different versions, and this is one of the versions you'll see, whether they're using these printouts from people or, you know, making pages that are kind of like this with stuff they have. And yeah, I was doing this for a while, and I still like doing this kind of thing. I have more. I have so many, actually. My biggest journal, and another thing you can do when it comes to junk journals, you don't always have to make your cover like the last 3 that I just showed you. It's like cardstock, or I even started buying those like 12 by 12 inch pages from the scrapbooking section of Joann's. This was years ago. And it you know, glue 2 pieces together to, you know, have two-toned if you want. Or you can use book covers. So this is my autumn, this is my autumn journal. And it's actually a very old copy of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I did not care about destroying this book, because it was old, but also, yeah, I don't care. But you can, as you can see, punch holes. It's so heavy. Punch holes into the spine. And taking these books apart take a little bit of finesse, because you basically cut out the entire text block. And you can see I covered up where the I can't remember what this is called, this paper on the inside. It got cut away when I cut the text block out. Can you see that? Right up there next to the washi tape, you can see the inside. You can actually see my pen lines from marking where each signature is gonna go. But yeah, this was my autumn journal, and I intended of like using it, but it got so massive. This I made probably in 2020, and it's massive. This is one of those pages that somebody created that I purchased. Every page in this, as was the last 3 as well, every page in this is computer paper that I printed something onto. But it's just massive. I love the apple pages. There's like 3 or 4 different autumn themed like pages and ephemera that came with it, digital packs that I printed out. I really love the apple ones. And then I did it again with a winter theme. This is an Outlander book, an old copy of Outlander, and you can just see how chunky it is. It's also dusty. It's, like I said, these have been sitting on my shelf for a while, but it's just filled to the brim with ephemera and these pages. And you can see I did blue ink on this. And it's just, this is a way you can do junk journals. Oh, there's another bow, and then a fabric one. I don't even remember where I got that from. Oh, and this is the back. These are each a pocket, I believe. I bought sparkly washi tape specifically for this journal. And yeah, and then I took a break for a while. I didn't make any. I think the bee one and the garden one I actually made after those, because I have the videos of those. And then I made this one. So this is fabric, and I embroidered this mushroom here, as well as one on the back. And you can see the strings, the embroidery floss that I used. This one is a little bit more back in touch with its roots of being junk. This is a random playing card that I remember finding in college. And I started getting into using my sewing machine. This is a tea-stained index card. Close that so you can back it up. Tea-stained index card. You can faintly see the line still. And then I glued the paper and these little, these are like little definitions. I think these two are actually from an old dictionary, and some washi tape, and then I just take my sewing machine, put it around the sewing machine, and I leave the ends long because I think it's cool. And this is actual junk, construction paper from when I was young. Packaging, brown bag packaging. I had purchased this, for example, I had purchased loose book pages from a couple of Etsy shops. You know, pages of just, I can't show you all of that. This is an envelope. I can't show you the front because it has my address and someone else's address on it. It's glued so it can be opened, so I can tuck stuff in and then fold it closed. And this is paper bag that it's glued onto. More book pages, more old printed stuff that I didn't use. That's old map, just leftover stuff. And this went back to its truest form of, this is just a scrap. I created this, but I can't remember what it means. Just using whatever you have. I went back to the truest form of a junk journal, just using actual junk. So, tea-stained index card, and then a different map. I think that's Massachusetts, but I liked the old, yeah, Baltimore. This is Baltimore right there. I like the old design on the back. This is actual mail that I got. This is a Hot Topic ad that I saved because I liked all the fun stuff on it. Ooh, this is fun. This is recreation of old money that I remember getting at some kind of museum, and it's just been sitting around. Oh, this one's got an envelope. Folds down. That was mail or junk. No, packaging, excuse me. And I didn't sew this down because I didn't have the forethought to do it before the page got sewn in, but it's glued in, but it's fabric, and I just kind of sewed around it and created this edge and then glued it in. Book pages, just paper bag, just random pieces of paper bag. This is a little envelope. This is hard to film. This folds out like that, taped in, mail, printed. A lot of paper bag. So I had done another journal with just paper bag in it. It's just, oh, there's another fabric pocket, glued in but sewn down. That's another way of doing a journal. That went on a lot longer than I expected. I'll definitely have to edit a lot of that out. But one of the ways you can do a junk journal that I wanted to talk about and show you, I find is a little bit more accessible. This is my junk journal kit for a specific method. This is a notebook that I bought in a store and was not planning on doing this method, but then I kept seeing TikToks about it. And I went, you know what, fine, I'll do it. And I find it very fun. And you can see how much I've added to only a handful of pages. Granted, that's partially my fault because I was doing a little too much on each page, because I'm used to the junk journals where I built it from the ground up and I have more space. You know, this is a traditional bound notebook, and the signatures are very tight, very close, just like a novel, any kind of textbooks, anything that is professionally bound in a factory. The pages are so close together, there is no space to put anything else in there. Now, you can use notebooks like this, or even old books. The best method, though, is to remove pages. I did not know that when I started doing this, but removing pages helps alleviate this kind of strain from happening. I mean, it's literally bowing and forcing the remaining pages to curve, and there's a gap in this back here. I will probably keep going regardless until the spine probably breaks. That I've seen a couple of people on TikTok who will do that until the spine breaks, and that's perfectly fine. You can do that. But yeah, this is my other form of junk journaling, and I actually been wanting to get back into this. Now that I have more time, I wanted to do a couple pages with you and kind of show you what I like to do. There's a mix in here, a mix of like actual journaling. So here's the inside, some fun fan art, and Taylor Swift. She looks beautiful in this photo, and I had to keep it in there. Bunch of stickers. Floppy Cat Creations is a great shop who make handmade art dolls, and these are some holographic tarot card stickers. I have more stickers in the back. Sidon and Link from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. These big ones, all of these are from a little sticker pack that I got. This is actually, funny enough, it was like a business card. I bought some stuff from this company. Yeah, get a good look at that. Definitely check out their Etsy. They have, I think I bought patches for like clothing from them. It's gonna cover up this. This was a personal note from I believe it was a Valentine's Day card from my partner. But I had planned on using these different pens. So there's Papermate gel pens and the UB gel pens. I end up not using the UB ones at all in this journal because it came in a case and it was just, I couldn't fit it into my little carry case behind there. Just turn the page so you can't see the note from my partner. I had bought this pack of washi tape and I wanted to just sample it, basically swatch it, you know, like I did with the pens. So all these fun washi tapes. I believe it's 4 pages. Yeah, just all of these. And I actually have a bin of washi tape. All of these down here are ones that I bought individually. And then this is the pack up here. And some new ones. I actually got it from a friend that are House Moving Castle themed because they know how much I love House Moving Castle. But I haven't had a chance to use those yet. But yeah, washi tape swatches. And then this is some junk from like packages that I had been saving. Wow, it's been a year since I started this. But yeah, this is Mustard Beetle. That's the packaging from the back. Who is this? Sugar Lich, which you can also see there. Sugar Lich, there's another Etsy shop I bought patches from. And this is a sticker that looks like a stamp, and these are actual stamps from some packaging. And this is a stamp, something that was stamped onto my packaging. An envelope that I had cut apart so I can have this beautiful sticker in washi tape. That's Mustard Beetle again. And just some stickers and other things. And I actually journaled a little bit in this. Nothing serious in there. I was talking about a sewing project that I was doing. And these are my fabric swatches and some inspiration. I was making a pirate shirt, as it says. So I kind of went with a piratey theme, and this is a tea-stained book page back here that I got with some packaging. And then I start going into things that I love. So we got BTS, I Am Army, and then I would write down their album and my favorite song from each album, in purple, of course. And I also have these fun scrapbooking pages, which I can show you. It's in here. They're like these small packs of scrapbooking pages. Also, all of my pens, my glue. I've got one of those corner punchers to make it the edges smaller, and I got some scissors. This glue, the purple that dries clear, that sticks to more surfaces, the best glue for this. I do not use any other glue. Use this glue. But yeah, these pages can be really beautiful, and I love just like tearing off corners, and it creates some really cool, as you can see here, just torn edges. But yeah, I plan on filling out my favorite song from every album. I'm just waiting for the rest of the TV versions to come out. I want the rest of the Taylor version before I do all of them. And then Tom Hiddleston. I love Tom Hiddleston and his beautiful wife, Zala. And then, of course, Loki. And you can see more of the paper in the background. Ooh, that's a bit risque for YouTube. And it basically turned into my favorite things. So Ghost, I love Ghost. Obviously I made this last year before the new, if you're a Ghost fan, I made this last year before Papa 5 was announced. And before the new album came out, my favorite songs. And then I love Kurt Wagner, Nightcrawler from the X-Men. So I have done several pages with him. And then Aesthetics, Goblin Core, which, funny enough, Goblin Core is where I first learned about junk journals. But just everything that screams Goblin Core. Lots of mushrooms, dark, and earth tones, and of course, Cottage Core, which kind of branches off and really took off in 2020. Dark Academia, that scholarly feel, books, old libraries. And then Whimsigoth, I think, the TV show Charmed from the 90s, or Practical Magic. Lots of moons and stars and silver and gold and jewel tones. This is by a specific artist. I unfortunately cannot remember their name, but they're all of their Kurt art, their Kurt and Logan chip art, and some even more with Kurt, Logan, and Storm ship art, and that is where I left off. I'm going to skip the page, and I would like to take you with me as I work on my next set of pages, since it's been a while since I've done this, specifically for my husband, Pedro Pascal. I couldn't think of what to do. I had went on a trip last year and I wanted to do pages about that, but then I never took pictures, and then, it just kept going on. I'm like, well, what do I do? I wanted to do something for my birthday, and I never did anything for that, and then I wanted to do something for fall and Halloween, and I have things printed out for that, and I just never got around to doing any of that. So I'm going to try and take you with me while I do this. I have one more thing that I keep stuff in for this. It's this giant file envelope folder thing, and it's basically for all the materials that are too big to fit into my 2 boxes there, and I've just got so much things that I've collected that I've had around, things that I've printed out. This is a sheet of album covers for ones that I want to do. And then just all of the stuff that I have purchased that is old pages. These are scrapbooking pages back here. Stickers, lots of stickers. I'm never much of a sticker person, but I've gotten into stickers a little bit with doing this method of journaling. So yes, I want to try and take you with me as I work on this. That's all my pictures cut out. Let's find some paper that I want to use in the background. What I'm doing is called fussy cutting, where basically you kind of just go around the outline and cut away all the excess. And you can be as neat or as messy as you want. I've seen some people go real careful and real close to the edge. I am not one of those people. I don't have patience for that. there's my Pedro Pascal pages. Yeah, I definitely want to show you guys junk journaling more, if that's something you want to see. Both this kind where I just kind of do spreads, or the other kind where I, maybe make a journal from scratch. Just let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.